of us who were born before all this technology, sometimes it's a problem. Now, if Rafik's point about recruits who have just passed out 4 days before is correct, and knowing Rafik, it must be so, then it raises a fundamental problem about the institutional culture and the nature of the training that immediately they've formally been giving this attire, it gives them a sense of solidarity and the legitimacy to construe the powers conferred on them by the state to bear weapons on its behalf and protect both the state and its citizenry. That is the institutional culture that we need to interrogate and to ask whether during the training, and here I'm hoping that my two dear friends, the Minister of Defense, Mr. Nitiwu, Honorable Nitiwu, and then General Okompepra, that we can have a conversation next week as to whether we can include institutional cultures in the training, but even more importantly, issues of attitude and behavior. Because we can provide all the training that we can if the appropriate posture and understanding of their mission and the vision of the institution that they serve aren't understood properly. Then we will see this reversal to 30 years ago when civil-military relations were fraught with violence, with fear, and with a certain unwillingness by the citizenry to have any relationship to do with the military. We can't and we mustn't go there. For several reasons. Because in a democratic dispensation, civil democratic control must be such that the engagement between the civil side, so the democratic side, and the security side must have one aim: seeking to build institutions that speak to and respond to the needs and the changing dynamic of the communities that they serve. And these young men haven't understood the context within which they were recruited, trained, and passed out. That the operational context within which they work has changed dramatically. That in Burkina Faso, northeastern Nigeria, Niger, Mali, it is such behavior that creates, and also in Edra anyway, that creates an enabling environment for yet another discourse that seeks to respond to this sense of exclusion, to this sense of dispossession, and to this sense of victimhood. We shouldn't allow the behavior of a few people to create this toxic mix that allows people to exploit it against that. It's not only about the military. Yesterday, I was traveling. Just after Apam, there's this rather well-built police officer. He was in white, who stopped my vehicle and said, "Oh, Chief, today is Friday, do something." And the intimidating posture and the threatening posture was that if you don't pay, I will deal with it. And once more, I'm appealing to the IGP and the regional police commander. Yesterday, 2:30, just after Apam, this big officer, and he's so big that I'm sure every MTT officer knows him. Please, that man's behavior represented the gangsterism that we are talking about in Wa, and that was reflected in Jura. We cannot have people who represent the state, wear the state's uniform, and are armed on behalf of the state, threatening the citizenry, who by extension should be their partner.